Good morning. Do you know what platelets are? Well, I have a lot of questions from patients trying to find out just the same answer to the same question. Platelets are fragments of cells. They're not real. They don't have a nucleus. So if you look at the components of your blood, you have different components. You have red blood cells, you have white blood cells. Well, platelets are really what we call anucleate fragments of cells. How do you get platelets anyhow? Well, you get platelets by spinning down whole blood. And that is because the components of blood have different weights. When you spin blood down, the heavier cells will go to the bottom. So namely your red blood cells and a lot of your white blood cells as well. And the lighter stuff stays on top. Now, since platelets are really fragments of cells, they're lighter. So they tend to stay above the red blood cells. Now, when you spin the blood the first time, you'll get plasma on top. It's called plasma, whatever is not red blood cells, plasma. But are they really platelet rich per se? If you only spin it once, whatever settles on top is your plasma, but not necessarily platelet rich. It turns out that you need to do a double spin to get most of the platelets to float down to a thin layer that's called the platelet rich plasma. Now, what's all the hype? I like to think of platelets as the body's own prepackaged first aid kit. It has certain granules in it that, when released, squished out, contain factors in it that may help with regeneration or healing. So the most common use has been in the past with sports injury, with shoulder or knee, and recently I think dermatologists are using it to help with hair loss. The unique thing about platelets is they actually come in a resting stage, right? So if you look at the sort of round cells up there, those are resting on non-activated platelets. But in the presence of injury, or when they are activated by certain factors, they change shapes. And you see this, funny shape up there. Those shapes commence when it's starting to extrude the different factors that it normally extrudes out. Some of these factors are growth factors that may help with healing. So think of the platelet as your own prepackaged first aid kit right in your body. And next time we'll talk about how can this be of benefit to you or not. There's a lot of controversy and a lot of research still going on about platelet-rich plasma. Again, this is Dr. Famuyiwa explaining what platelets are.